There's a video, and I like the CNBC woman mentioned that the millennials are not getting jobs because they have helicopter parents. Okay, this is the reason why I'm glad they brought that up. That is very true. Why do millennials and even Generation X and Y, like myself, because I'm Generation X, are not working as much or whatever? Well, when I was 18 years old, 20 some years ago, I was turning 19, the year could be 39 this year. I wanted to be grown, which I was. I wanted my life the way how I wanted, and I wanted to kick everybody out, my family, and those around me who didn't want that. You have people with this old, dumb, stupid, conservative, even trying to distort the Bible mentality. It's hurt mentality. Stop them, discourage you, talk down. That's part of life. My mama taught me that way. That's how we go. Love your family. Stay with your family. They love you. Excuse me. First Corinthians chapter 13 tells you that love is not a Christian rule, and you dumb liar, snake in the grass garden eating for saying that. Well, we supposed to be together. Don't try to use religion there because last time I checked Matthew 10, it's for the family. Abusive, helicopter, narcissistic parents and grandparents and guardians hurdle the young generation because what they were afraid them living without that abuse and dysfunctional behavior and be successful with it. You kill your enemies by being successful. They want to see that. When we go out to the real world, you have the same baby boomers and those before them who grew up in 1930s and 40s because they had shitty ass parents and grandparents who ever raised them. And they felt that shitty ass so-called discipline, which was abuse, on the job, bully bossing, that some of my generation was going to tolerate that. That's why during the Clinton season, many of us quit and went to another job because we're trying to work. We want to work in a peaceful, true professional environment, not professional based on your own interpretation of professionalism, because their definition is the person at the lower bracket get treated like a roach, treated like a doormat, don't say nothing, be timid, don't be assertive, don't be aggressive, stop the problem, and deal with a bully boss who wants gratification of getting that type, and no, treating someone like that. That's what they call it. And they jump when they say jump, and they have this ugly pride and arrogance of just taking advantage of it based on money. Why they collecting a huge check? Those who are on the higher bracket gets a higher paycheck compared to those on the lower bracket. You mean lower, status in the company. Now, why then later on, so those who were liberals, who extreme liberals like myself, who wanted our own stuff, who wanted to get away from people who didn't want us, who had the flying monkeys. I'm not calling by a monkey by some race. A flying monkey is, let's go watch, look at the Wicked Witch West, talking about the one in Wizard of Oz. Dorothy, to get at Dorothy was strong enough to deal with her, right? Don't ask when she the one got her killed, okay? The Wicked Witch was threatened by Dorothy, so she had to get other people under her, the flying monkeys, to harass Dorothy and the lion and the scarecrow and the tin man, because she knew that her as a person cannot face a person, so they send their flying monkeys to come after you. So I had a bunch of flying monkeys of all different races harass me at Job Corps, harass me. They didn't want me to have my own shit. Because that's the whole reason why we have welfare and food stamps. Because if you let a person be on your own, they wouldn't have to worry about welfare and food stamps. But no, we wait because once again, you got to run back. When I was born in '79, when Carter was president, a lot of these conservative people, especially in the WASP communities, but those who are African American, Hispanic, who sympathize with them, didn't like the fact that that culture they grew up back in the 50s and 60s was going away. Okay? Which I do believe why AIDS was invented. Yes, people should not be out here having reckless sex, but they were trying to stop that. This was orchestrated. These are man-made disease, okay? They don't know AIDS had VD, but just to be real with you, okay? In fact, that minorities at the time was getting jobs, having their own businesses, and Reagan stopped that situation as the crack epidemic came in and everything else, and outward teenage mothers, and all the other destruction. Okay, now they allowed that stuff to happen. They promoted the gangster rap too, and the people in our community should be guilty as well. Those who produce that shit to make our population go down, Planned Parenthood, whatever. All these things were stopping people from the generation, the population that the elite does not want to overrise above them. That's the whole reason why. So during that time, we had people who had abusive parents back in the 50s and 60s who beating their children for gratification, distorting the Bible for gratification. That's why people don't go to church anymore. You want to serve God, but you got to deal with people who's a wolf in sheep clothing trying to teach you about God. They have not picked that wooden beam out their eye. So what they did was they tried to do all they can to stop the younger generation to be independent, because anytime you're a leader, a steward, and you're trying to teach right but you're wrong, you're very destructive in it, the outcome bites you, and you know what. So they didn't want to see that happen. So the next generation come out, they thought that we'll go back to the old school way in the 80s, but they did not know that many of us who grew up in the 80s will want to be independent from that and be successful in that and be in our own soul. Because if they did not tell the younger generation, and my generation and younger than me, to stay at home and be with families and not be independent, this would not be going on. But when you want a parent who wants to be a bully parent and a bully boss and wants to have gratification of that mistreatment of others and have the leverage of it and talk about and twist the Bible and twist everything to fool people, because I don't have that Jim Jones victim situation, you know what I mean, and Dick Fresh, and they don't like something, I'm the devil, but they're the devil too. You know what I'm saying? If I'm the devil and I'm the bad person, and last time I checked in the Bible, it does tell you that a person who doesn't like correction, a scorner, I am one, I'll admit that, you don't touch that person. You earn insult. But y'all want to keep that culture because your dumb ass was in that culture. Not everybody wants your belief system. It does say in the Bible for those who don't want correction later on in life will receive it from God. It will tell you that in Revelation, Romans 8 and 9 or 10, whatever Paul was reading from the book of Isaiah, that a person like myself, God looked for those who didn't ask for him alone, not no human. And God knows the fact that I'm dealing with a bunch of hypocrites trying to teach me right. That's why I have a right to be a scoffer. Sorry, my conscience telling me that. Okay, thank you. I see a bad by their fruits. A bad fruit trying to teach you right ain't gonna do right. So this was coming back then. They twisting scripture to hurting people, call folks out their name. That's not of love. But they want to clean their act first, but they want to clean someone else's. They were afraid that culture, they got away with that, would see the outcome of what they did, the result of what they did. So what they did was trying to make the younger generation stay at home, and force them to listen to these ignorant people that is raising them, and tell them to be latched to them even at the adulthood, which is very anti Galatians 4. I'm talking about verse, but the steward, the child said, thank you. You know what I'm talking about, that goes, okay. They won because they kept advocating the family, because the people advocating the family was teaching ideas that would stop the family. Beating, abusing, sexual, physical, mental, and all that, and all that will cause a family to break up. It's a sinful nature, you dumb people. You never decided to discern, test everything, hold what's good. I have no question. Oh, excuse me, St. Paul said about a question told the desert to shut up. I question if I see something bad, if it's causing me to sin. Being abused cost me a sin. You scandalize little ones though to the sea. That's what you're doing. You should be having a rock around your neck trying to teach it. Well, I would raise that way. Well, keep it a function upbringing out of people's life who don't want to be a selfish person, because the one who want to escape that being selfish. You're the one who's selfish. They wanted their bad lifestyle back in 1930s and 40s and 60s and 50s in these kids' life. And they want them to break them away from being independent, because what it is will cause independence. When they're abusing, they reap what they sow. They cause a separation in the family. Their separation caused them to feel guilty for what they did to their child. That's what it is. So to avoid that guilt, they try to teach these kids to stay at home. Let parents tell you and run their parents. The parents run them, tell whatever they cannot do after age 18, and tell them not to be independent. And then anyone independent, they the devil, they this and that, blah blah blah. Well, now the kids are turning 30 and 20 some years old, and they don't want to leave home. That they act a fool on the job, they can always go home to mama and daddy and grandma and grandpa. And that's why they don't mind fucking up on the job. See, someone like me who's independent do mind, because that's our income. The only time I don't mind when it's dysfunctional at the job. You see what I'm saying? Someone trying to abuse me, being abused since you're a kid to now adult. You don't want to have no complex suicide, depression. So what you want to do? You walk out. I'm threatened many times at my job to leave the job because they don't want to need me. I'm there to do my job. First of all, it pay my bills, but I'm not gonna sit here and let nobody talk to me what I went through in life. That almost took my own life with it. But they want to have that pleasure because all abusive person loves to. That's their pleasure, and they the one who have the self hate because they feel in order to feel gratified is to hurt somebody else in their authority. Really look what happened to Hitler. Hitler committed suicide. So you get my point? The truth of the matter is that's what you're dealing at the job. It's kids who are underdeveloped, who have mom and daddy paying for everything, grandma, because mom and daddy don't want that person to be independent. What they're scared of losing the power of that child, that's adult. That's what they're scared of. And see the outcome of their abuse on that child. Because what they did to that child is going to bite them in the ass. And have to deal with the public and society looking at them because they the one was a bad steward. No, and it's not the child's fault. It ain't the child's fault. It's their dumb steward who caused that mess. And they should rot in their guilt with it. But we live in a culture that back in conservative, mama don't know nothing, and you have to forgive all that little doggone stuff. No, fuck all that. Let them rot in their guilt. Maybe the next set of parents won't be doing it scandals on their kid either. So these kids go to these adults, these young adults who don't have responsibilities because their parents take care of responsibilities. They don't want them to have anything. Try to rob that because they rob the independence of control. That's what it is. Then they go on a job and they act a fool on the job and they don't care and they act a fool. Then they say, go ahead and fire me. And they go back home to mom and daddy and stay in their nest. And you want to know why they can't get a job. Y'all the one who, back in the Bush days, family, not area family is functional, you dumb, stupid people. Well, we don't want to see the breakup. Well, maybe the bad steward will not act up and act a fool and clean its behavior before having kids or taking care of kids. It wouldn't happen that way. Because back in the 2000s, you should stay with your family. You know, and you should do what Jesus did and shut up with that mess with your wolf and sheep clothes trash. If I don't want to do what Jesus, that's between me and God. You're not God, you're human. Worry about your self-behavior and what you need to do with God. But that's what it was. Y'all was teaching that mess. And now you want to know why millennials don't care about working. They're being spoiled at the age 18. Instead of the parents say, get out my nest and be on your own, and they'll be responsible because that's their paycheck. They'll do everything right, trying to take care of house and bills. No, mama paying car, no. You know what I'm saying? And because they're scared of their culture, they're lost in their adulthood, will be lost in their children's adulthood. That's what they're scared of. Well, you don't have no control what happens when you die, when you dumb parents and grandparents, whatever, when you dead. You don't have no control what your children are going to do. So trying to stop them from growing up and being independent and being adults, you're going to be crying about them not cleaning your place. Your place, not their place. You're going to be crying about them causing problems. You caused that. At age 18, it's time to grow up, not to be baby because your stupid ass back in 1940s and 50s and 60s will still listen to your grandma or whatever. We don't live that bullshit no more. We don't want to. I don't. Fuck that shit. I don't need that. But you want to drag people. You're the one who's selfish. Drag an individual to live your shit for you and make your ass smile. That's what it is. So when they get a job and they're trying to be independent, usually, let me tell you the reason why. The employers like hiring millennials who have lack of responsibilities. Let me explain why. Because they're used to being abused and mistreated and denied the opportunity to be an adult on the job or in life. So they look at people who have a lack of maturity of being an adult. So when they are abused on the job, they used to being abused at home. That's being professional to them, which is the stupid thing. They can walk on a person, they can have that gratification because they dumbass with their situation. They were selfish for trying to add that person in their behavior and their scandal. So that's why it's hard. Instead of teaching the adults who are now, whoever millions who they were kids when I was in high school, to be independent and not rely on mama and daddy and grandma and grandpa. And if they don't take care of their grandma and grandpa, that is not your business going to their family and harassing them about whatever. It's not your business. 'Cause I would love to be in your business and tell you what goes on in your damn family and cause a lot of drama and gossip so you should like to get mine. Truth of the matter is, stay out of people. Didn't the Bible tell us mind your business? Truth of the matter is, if you allow people who are age 18 to be an adult, to be responsible, you don't have to worry about this mess. What you're worrying about, that old culture back in the day going away in these kids' life and they being successful without it. That's what you're scared of. I'm not. Because when I leave this world, what I can do in this world? Nothing. I don't have existence in this world. Life is too short trying to change a person. Life is too short trying to make a person live your damn way. That's what it is. You're told, you want your way. Well, if I want my way in my own personal life with or without you, that has nothing to do with you. Actually, if I want way, you would not be in it. Ain't nothing selfish about that. But you want their way. You want them to have your way. And that is selfish on your ass. We don't live in that old culture anymore, and people do not want that. Fuck the old culture. And I did go there. Keep that old conservative mess in your personal life. Let those who don't want it, who don't want to observe it, who don't want to be part of it, go and let them be. And maybe you and don't. They're worried about their future. That's for me to worry about, not you. About my future. You don't live in my body. I do. So when you have these people who are trying to get a job and they're trying to be independent, the employer should be stressing them out to have their independence, so they don't have to worry about mama and daddy. Because mama and daddy and grandma and grandpa and whoever, auntie and uncle, are not going to tia and tío and abuelita and wherever. It's not in papa and mama, whatever, madre, excuse me, papa, padre, it's not going to be in there all their life. The idea of being independent, that's what's supposed to be taught to these young people. But you don't want them to be independent. So you deny them having cars, deny them having driving, my situation, so they can be reliant on you, so you can walk on them doing any kind of way, and you can have that pleasure hurting them and calling it love when it's not. That's exactly what you want. So don't cry about these millennials who don't have responsibilities at an adult age, because you was teaching that mess when they was coming up in the early 2000s. The family. No, excuse me, not every family is a good family. So don't whine. Maybe if you let people do them and hire these people to be independent and treat them respect, and they treat you respect, you wouldn't have this problem. This is what it is. Is it too bad to do business with mutual respect? No, it's not. It's easy to have mutual respect on the job. It's just that person's bitching and moaning about not hurting someone while making a paycheck and hurting someone at the bottom at the job. That's what they're bitching and moaning about. Don't hire liberals. Yeah, because us liberals not going to take abuse. We're there to work, not to be abused, not to be treated like cattle. Because we know that if you hurt us, we're not going to find some way to hurt you back. And we don't want to deal with that. But, oh, well, I went there when I was a child. Well, keep your dysfunctional life and your fucking family out of our lives. Some of us went to that shit and almost do not want to be here on this earth. Deal with it. So have it in your life. Keep your miserable lifestyle and culture out of people's lives who don't want it. Just have mutual respect. I respect you. You respect me. And call it a day, and we don't have to worry about get into an argument or arguing. But no, to feel all big and bad for a title that you shouldn't have. That's why. But you can say, those who are watching videos are saying, don't hire liberals. We're going to know what company work for, and trust me, put it on the boycott list and tell everybody to leave the industry alone. We can boycott companies that allow employees to be abused. We can tell them not to negotiate contract with these people, these corrupt company, and give them bad reputation. And maybe you would not have a business to hire anybody. Did you know that? We can start it on my channel right now. If y'all won't drop any name of a company that's caused employee abuse, and we'll orchestrate what business and country and make sure their company go down to bankrupt. Oh yes, this is a revolt. Because our human dignity is, it's important. You can respect a person and pay a person and treat them with respect just like you want to be treated, and there'd be no problems. I can understand a ruly person. If I, which I do plan to be my own boss, my own employer, I just let that person go. I'm not gonna sit here and just argue with a person. I do that too much on YouTube and in my own personal life. I don't need to do it in work. So if I was a supervisor, just, says, can you just go ahead and let you go. And if I see potentially, I just help that person one-on-one to be their own person if I don't want to see them in private. Like Madam C.J. Walker did. She taught them sisters while they was selling hot combs to be their own bosses while they were working for her. Have y'all thought about having that type of program? Because that was not all the homeless stuff and all that other stuff like we have here in 10th and Houston. If employers and companies had a program to teach folks to be an entrepreneur, those they see that's kind of unruly, maybe want their own business, then maybe it will save your income, and you have to worry about no welfare, no food stamps, nobody begging you for money, and people peeing and dropping shit bombs all over the place in your town or your city. But no, you rather see people suffer because you want them to conform to your expectations, and that's the whole reason why. And that's the reason why their parents, the millennials, their parents don't want them. Helicopter parents do not want them to be independent because they want them to suffer the money and cars and phones, whatever they're paying, so they can get hurt by that and somehow conform to their expectations. Life is too short for all that. Your culture in the old school is dying. Accept it. And maybe look at the situation. While the person supposed to be teaching right and wrong, they was being a hypocrite with their wrong doing. Or their right doing, whatever you want to call it. They wasn't doing right how they was teaching. Being a bully to someone and being a steward, that's like a devil teaching me right and wrong. If I want someone to teach me right and wrong, they might as well be the devil. If that's you believe that's how you're supposed to teach people. People just want to hurt people and get away with it. It's called like it is and have the title to do so. When you have corrupt authority, it does not teach right. A wicked man in charge ruins people. I think I read it somewhere in Proverbs. It does. A wicked person cannot teach you right. You have to be everything you're saying and be an example of it and be the godly, angelic person, not the demonic person teach you right. But all my stewards, majority have been wrong. That's why I don't mind letting God correct me or judge me. I don't need a dumb human piece of bowl of flesh who's just as rotten as I am, who acting rotten with their way of living and call it holy when it's not, like I don't know about their bad fruit, teach me right and wrong. Okay? Then you clean them, take the wooden beans out the eyeball to spit on mine. But I'm letting you know, if you want millennials to not act this way and want them to be responsible, then you need to stop advocating a culture, an old school culture that dumbs down people, telling these parents to keep their children unlocked after age 18 and be domineering and say it's love when it's not. It's love of abuse, and then people keep people in charge to gratify their ass. Ain't no love in that. Don't you dare lie with your snake tongue. The truth of the matter is, if you teach these young people to be educated, that people suffer of a lack of knowledge, and to be independent and go on their own, you don't have to worry about them messing up on a job. Because when they're independent, that's their paycheck. But when they live with mama and daddy and you talking about family, well, guess what? They ain't not gonna worry about them. You live to do whatever they want to do, and it gets on your nerves. Then you're gonna want to know why when you hire them, refer they don't come on a job. You can't be a corrupt leader and teach right. I'm called like it is. No matter if you run a business or not. Check yourself first, so-called employers and managers, and clean your behavior up and stop trying to practice what you dysfunctional went through in life as a kid to someone else who went through it and had a worse situation to the point it made them the Galatians chapter 3:21 made them discouraged, whatever. Stop trying to be that. And then you teach these kids to be independent. Stop dumbing down young adults. I'm almost 40. Stop dumbing down younger folks and tell them that you're still a baby. They're not babies. That's why they're acting like babies. They're adults. I admire a person turning 18 and 19 years old. It's a rite of passage. They're not babies. They're adults. You still a baby. You got a lifetime. No, life is too short, dumbasses. You still teaching image to someone that's probably 40 years old saying, "Hey, you're too young." No, they're not. People grow up, not grow down. So stop telling these babies, kids, they're babies. They're adults. They're young adults. Treat them like young adults, and they will act like young adults. Stop being afraid of their independence and their individuality. That's what you're scared of. Because you're scared, you don't have your stupid, ugly hands in the cookies y'all trying to run their life like they're a robot. They're outside of working the rest in society, being that flying monkey to the wicked west. That's exactly what you want. The gatekeeper of that shit. That's exactly what you want so bad. Well, I'm sorry. As the time grows, that shit is going away. Get used to it. But these grown adults should be treated like adults, and maybe if you teach them to be independent and tell them it's okay to pay their bills. While it's not hard, no. One thing about me, I don't mind paying bills. I don't mind making enough money. If I wasn't on this public housing, I was telling her sister she paid $1,000 some dollars. I would love to pay $1,000 a mortgage and make the money to do so I don't have to worry about this shit here. It might be hard, but at least you got your shit. At least you got your own stuff. I don't want people in my life running my ass. It's stupid you go after a person who don't want your dumb authority or culture. Go after people who listen to your message. That's a intelligent thing to do. But no, you're looking for something to bully and feel great about. And keep it low and make yourself feel good. That's exactly what it is. When these millennials come to your job, you as a manager should be advocating individuality, even telling them this is a career opportunity, like you had an interview, to be independent, pay your bills. I would say that in an interview because I want to inspire that person to be on their own, not be on welfare, food stamps. But y'all advocated that. That's why I went rock about one, went on food stamps. And welfare, they went, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to get a law for have my own share. You want to be on that shit. But the economy was so damn low at the Bush. Y'all was advocating families coming back together. Excuse me, grown adults don't need to go back to their mama and daddy house and grandma house. No, they don't. Because what you want is that doggone young adult go back to the recession head again so they can be under the old school people's rules. And they can be brainwashed with their belief system. That's exactly what you're trying to promote. We don't want your belief system. We can be successful without it. You're talking to a flock that doesn't want your damn message. That's the stupidest thing in the world. Go at the people who's open to what you have to say. You don't ever go to an enemy who doesn't want to hear what you got to say. We're your enemies. When you deny access to independence and economic independency and everything else, you wanted that to be taken away from us so we can dumb down ourselves and be brainwashed into your expectations and cultural and religion, whatever expectation. That's exactly what y'all was orchestrating that shit. But now, you're whining about a generation younger than me who don't have responsibilities. Helicopter dumb nearing parents like your doggone self who's a manager. They're controlling them. They run them. They acting butt wild when mama's not around and dad's not around on the job because they never had a chance to have the freedom. That's what it is. And you're mad? No, get married yourself. Keep that old school garbage out of folks' life who do not want it, who don't want to endure it, who don't want to encounter it. Go teach that mess to people who cares. And then you want to go on a job, be the bully parent on the job. But they had experience at home. That's a sad thing. You just want that pleasure and that power pleasure so bad to make yourself, your ugly ass, feel good. But I'm telling you like it is. As you telling people to not hire millennials and liberals, whatever, we can also tell people not to support your business. Support the company you work for. And make sure other companies do not negotiate with you. And have business contracts which make you lose your contract because you want to have ratchet behavior on the job and you orchestrate so you can feel pleasure because your life is all shit up. Since you have the money and have everything else, be happy and share that happiness with everybody else, not your misery. And that's what you mad about. You mad at the fact that people would go against you for sharing your miserable lifestyle with everybody else that you had to experience. Instead of advocating to get out that misery lifestyle, you want to be the bully that your dumbass parents and grandparents, whoever raised you, on the job. And you can feel great about it and make yourself feel self-esteem feel good because you feel less than a person. That's what it is, their arrogance. So that's what it is. You got what you asked for. Because when I was telling people when you're 18, they're too young, they're still a baby. Excuse me, they're not babies. They're adults. Stop that mess. You are making them feel immature about who they are, and that's why they act immature on the damn ass job. Treat them like adults. Their time to grow up, so when they be responsible, independent, they will be on the job longer. They'll help your business. Their mentality will change. But when you're sitting here trying to dumb down them and make them feel immature, trying to make them feel undeveloped and tell them it's okay to be undeveloped and all other stuff, you're advocating something worse. And don't bitch and moan about them on the job. Be undeveloped adults on the job since you wanted that to happen.